I have a great podcast voice.
Do you?
Yeah, I did radio.
Did you do radio?
ESPN.
Oh, that's right.
And they said I should be on air, and I was like,
Huh. I was dating you at that time.
Yes, sir. This did happen.
Great. I wanted to make sure everybody knew immediately.
For the record, he
he
was dating me at that time. You can play it like over and over like a GIF. Even though GIFs don't have a sound, but...
They can.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can add audio to them.
Play it over and over and over.
All right, guys. Hey, what's going on? My name is Chris Headshots, and this is Hanging with Headshots, a conversation with Amber Quinn. Amber, who are you? What do you do? And where do you do it?
Who am I? That's a huge question, but so on Instagram, I'm Amber Quinn Official. I am a network marketing queen, and I just retired from modeling.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much, sir.
Why did you retire from modeling?
Did I answer all the questions I had to previously? Well, who am I? What do I do? And
where do you do it?
Oh, where do I do it? On the World Wide Web, on the internet.
Oh, the interweb.
Social media.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Now, what was the next question?
What do you... What company do you work with? A company, though, right?
Multiple companies.
Oh, nice. Okay. Which companies are you currently working with?
Okay, so for influencing and modeling, so start with influencing, I guess. So that's based just online. I'm posting product. Mm-hmm. So Fashion Nova, Missy Empire, Hot Miami Styles. Those are the three main companies that I promote online. And then I'm also in a network marketing company called Monet. It's a vegan beauty, hair, and wellness company.
Okay. And you said modeling, but you just quit modeling. So e-commerce was something that I was doing on a weekly basis. I was modeling weekly for, Hot Miami Styles, Lotus Couture in Miami, Playthings in Miami. So all these like brands locally to me. I just didn't want to model weekly anymore. So now I'm kind of just doing everything online. I want to make my whole business online, especially during COVID. I was like, oh crap, like I have to go to work to make money. So at that point, I was kind of gearing everything to online. Copy that.
Yeah.
All right. So one of the things that I noticed about your Instagram lately is that you're doing a lot of motivation. It seems like it has specifically come out of working with Monet, and it looks like you're doing a lot of female empowerment things as well. And so since I know you from your past, part of that time with me, and we know I'm a photographer, so you were doing modeling with me. What are some things that you liked about modeling, and what are some things that you disliked about modeling, and what would you tell future people that want to get into it, maybe females or males, but what expectations they should have going into it?
All right, let's take it question by question.
Okay.
What I expected from modeling when I first started.
What should other people expect? Not what did you expect? Because
I was going to go what I expected and what
actually happened? Okay. Oh, my bad. I apologize.
Do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do that.
So I think when I first got into modeling, I was seeing all these people on social media and girls traveling and working with these brands and millions of followers. I'm like, oh my gosh, that seems like the life, right? But I also at that point didn't realize that social media is what we put out there. What's going on? Oh.
The air conditioning's turning off.
Oh, I was like, whoa, the sound got different. So at that point, I didn't really understand social media. So I just was
painted a picture that I saw online, and I thought that was what modeling was. Like, if I could get into modeling, then I can travel the world. I can be on this yacht. I can have a nice car. I'll have my dream house. Like, that's going to happen because of modeling. Then I get into modeling, and for the first couple years, I definitely was making no money. I had to still bartend. I was still working a full-time job. And then it slowly started rolling into, okay, I have a job. It's, last minute. I'm going to call my bartending job and call out, because obviously I'd rather do something that's going into my career. And so it kept going. I started getting followers on social media. I was like, okay, I'm going to quit my job. So I think I quit bartending then. And that was when I first started working for Hot Miami Styles. So now I had a brand that was booking me every week. It was great. I thought, I was like, okay, this is on the path. Like, if I could just get bigger brands, this is perfect. And then it goes on. I don't know if you want me to go in. I think.
Wherever you want to go.
Okay. Story time. Sit down, children. This is a long story. So I quit my job. Now I'm just doing modeling full time, and it was up and down. I don't think that people understand how up and down it is. One week you may be booked fully, and then next week you have one job, or you're booked fully for the next week, and then when it comes to Monday, 4 people cancel, and you're like, oh, I thought I was making $2,000 this week, and now I'm making $500. Like, ooh, the unexpectedness. Like, I didn't really know that kind of came along with it, right?
Yeah, essentially, you became an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Or you worked for yourself.
Yeah, I was working for myself, and I also didn't know the right way to work for myself either. I didn't know that I should have a contract. I didn't know that I should, have brands do, have a deposit. Normal thing. I didn't know I should have an LLC in my name. I didn't know the right way kind of to work for myself, to be an entrepreneur. So it was a learning experience for sure. But from getting that one gig and quitting my job, I also got Fashion Nova. So that was a huge kind of thing in my, career. They have, I think, 20 million followers on Instagram. So I think Fashion Nova was kind of like the game changer, especially for my social media. Mm-hmm. I booked them. I worked for them for, I think 3 shoots. And I booked my first kind of influencer job on Instagram. Mm-hmm. So they paid me for so many posts. They sent me outfits, and I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. I didn't even have 75,000 followers at that point. So I was like, all right, this is cool. I feel like I've made it. I'm on Fashion Nova. But still, it wasn't getting me what I had seen. And then I think there was I realized that that's not real. I'm like, okay, there's other things going on in the industry, or these girls are doing something else to have this lavish lifestyle. It's not coming from modeling, where I would just assume, or I would look as an outsider, and I thought that. So somewhere along that, I was like, okay, well, my dream of having this crazy big house and my dream, it's not gonna come from modeling. It's not. Unless I become some crazy YouTuber and get millions of followers, or now TikTok famous. But at that time, that was a point of getting signed with Fashion Nova. I think around that time, I was like, oh, they're not modeling. I'm modeling. I was doing e-com work, but they're showing influencing stuff, right? Mm. I wish I knew what branding was when I first started. Mm-hmm. I had no idea. I didn't know where I wanted to go. I didn't know what my goal was. I was just posting on Instagram like everyone else. When I went back and looked at my feed from the beginning, who no one told me I shouldn't be posting this stuff. These random horrible photos, memes, random. So I wish that I understood branding a little more. I think it could have helped me grow faster, But I also appreciate the whole journey too, because I think it was really important for me to learn. What else?
So what were some of the positives that came out of it?
No, I'm just kidding. Positives were like networking. I think I really learned a lot of skills in networking that I use in my business today. How to speak to people, how to kind of like manage myself, time blocking, time management. I mean, essentially I was doing everything myself in the beginning, from booking my flights to my hotels to my cars to booking my shoots. Like I was doing everything. Now I have an assistant that does my emails, bookings, and I'm like, oh, how did I survive without this? I don't know. That was, I mean, the people I met probably were the best part. And the knowledge I gained from everything, you know, I learned myself as well. You know, people will ask me now, how do you pose? Like, show me how to do it. And I'm like, there's so many aspects because it's dependent on you, your body type, how you feel, things like that. I don't think one person models the same. I mean, for e-com, there's certain things for sure, but you learn you. So I think during that process, I like learned myself. I know I look at my old pictures and I'm like, no, thanks.
Is there anything that, so like when we first started shooting, we were shooting very sexy content.
We were.
Which enabled you to grow faster probably than if you had not been, but you gained a mostly male audience. And that does what for you?
0. Yeah. So even right now, I think I just got to 10% women, which is like huge. When I first started network marketing, I was at 3% women. And so if you break it down, kind of what that means, brands that are mainly female based, that are having clients or, you know, customers that are female based, they didn't want to pay me what I should have been paid on my followers and engagement because I had no females following me. So why should they pay me to promote their product if they know no one's going to buy from me because it's just a bunch of guys?
Right.
So that was something that was really tough for me to like kind of swallow, because all these like contracts I was getting in the beginning were super low.
Yeah.
I'm like, but I've built my following. Like I've done this. I've been consistent. I've built it up. Yet I'm still getting like a shitty paycheck.
So do you wish that you had, or we had started in the beginning by shooting more brand friendly content and going after females?
I feel like that's, it's hard to say because
not that I would take back shooting anything that we had ever shot, but as far as like for business purposes, right? So not just for like, instead the shoots that we did, maybe instead of posting them to the gram, should have been just kept for you on your phone instead of being placed elsewhere. If you were, so I guess where I'm going with this is, if you were trying to give somebody who is not, give advice.
You know, if you look at it as in a business aspect and you want to go in that way of being an influencer, think about your brand. Think about what companies are looking for. Like, you should target the certain brands that you want to work with and see what they're posting, see what they're shooting. And you should be mimicking something very similar, because when they look at you and your Instagram, they should say, oh my gosh, we can see Amanda, we can see Jessica wearing our clothes. So for business, yes, I think if that's the road you want to go, keep the sexiness down. Would I take it back? No, because I became very comfortable with myself. I think even like when we first started shooting, I don't think I was really comfortable in those type of things. Like, wait, what's your thing called? The 10 poses?
What?
What's the thing that you have like set poses? What are they called?
I think you're talking, are you talking about like what I say I teach other people? Like,
there's like the hands up thing and you put your butt in the air.
We call those level 2, or was it?
Yeah, you had a name for it.
Yeah, we stopped doing those poses.
Oh,
so
yeah, because we've done for the brand.
Yeah,
it's no good.
It's good for OnlyFans,
yeah.
But that's about it.
So And I remember you asking me once, like in one of our first shoots, this is before we dated, like getting a level 2 pose.
Yeah, these are level 2 positions. Yeah,
and I was like, like, I don't know. But
they're sex-based positions that I learned from Joel Alvarez and the Black Tape Project.
Yeah, they were sexy.
Yeah, because
but
we were shooting for Playboy, FHM, Maxim,
yes,
Glamour magazines, which is, at the time, those magazines were paying us.
And I felt like back then, glamour was still very in.
I think it's still in, but it's glamorous. None of it's real. That's part of my problem.
Yeah.
With the whole thing. I feel like it's well, part of it is it's fantasy, right?
Yeah.
A lot of photography is fantasy. The model is supposed to be whoever is looking at it, it's their fantasy.
Yeah.
And we're kind of objectifying slightly, but maybe honoring. Oh, it's a mixture depending on the photo shoot.
Yeah.
It totally depends on where it's going and who it's being used for. Sometimes it's to make the woman feel empowered, and I feel like that's more like boudoir. I think glamour is like definitely working anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I definitely feel I understand that as well. I mean, for me, I think it helped me being comfortable in my like own sexuality to a certain degree. But definitely there was a point where I'm like, oh, I don't want to post this type of stuff anymore. Like, not that it didn't make, like I wasn't thinking about everybody else. Like, oh, it doesn't make everyone comfortable, whatever. But it was more like business based, like brands. So, I mean, it's mixed.
Because you're starting to make money elsewhere, right?
Well, yeah. Because one, you also have to understand looks are not forever.
Right.
And I got to a point where I didn't want people just to think, oh, well, Amber's pretty, that's why she makes money. Or she makes money on Instagram because she's pretty. Like, she's pretty and that's the only reason. So I got to a point where like, you know, like I'm smart too. I can do other things. And it was kind of like, I wanted to prove that as well.
Yeah. Well, if you got it, use it has
Of
always
course.
been my thing, you know?
You know, it's the pretty privilege.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's real.
But it's also a curse.
It's a curse. It's love and hate for sure.
Yeah. You get a lot more options to have to turn down.
You know, I was actually just answering all these questions on my Instagram of like, post a picture on your best trip, post like all these things, right? So it made me go through my camera roll and I'm like, wow, I've done a lot of like cool things that I probably wouldn't have done if I wasn't at the right place and I wasn't pretty. Like one of them being when I went to Europe for my first trip.
Mm-hmm.
And then randomly I was on a yacht, I was on a private jet, I was like in this country, that country, this, and I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not
Like
happening
for
to
the
me.
normal person. Like it's not happening.
I mean,
that didn't happen on me when I went on a trip.
I mean,
you go on cool trips.
I definitely have, thanks to you, thanks to Joey Wright, thanks to Hodges Bay,
Yeah.
and some other places.
Now, are these only based on your photography skills, or like some because
Most of
your
them
looks?
most of them are based on my people skills.
Got it.
Yeah,
agree.
they're inviting me because I am entertaining,
Tall.
white,
White,
handsome, and hung.
Okay.
Facts.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think like I have this conversation often, like you do get more advantages being hot.
Yes.
It's good and bad.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
You get more options thrown your way.
yes.
So
More choices.
I guess my question is, when did you learn to say no?
When did I learn to say no? I think this is not recent, but in the last couple of years.
Okay.
Like, I felt like in the beginning I shot with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Or like if it was a trip, I'm like, oh, I have to be on it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if it was offered to me, then I should go. You know, I was just taking it as, well, they're offering it to me. I should feel privileged to like that they're saying, oh, Amber Quinn, do you want to go on this trip? When I was kind of like, not that I felt like a no one, but I didn't have followers or I didn't have anything like clout, I guess, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm like, you're like, you're like, you don't meet my standards.
Okay.
So even in like photography, you know, I feel bad, but also now I have a brand that I stand by, which is me. And I also have to decide what's good for my brand. Like at the end of the day, now it's business.
Yep.
Like you could be my friend, but if your skills are not up to where I am in business, like I can't.
Heard.
So,
okay.
yeah. So I'm actually very selective who I shoot with. I really don't do photo shoots like for content anymore. Because I've found that on social media, it's like, honestly.
Yeah, the iPhone is taking away my job slowly and steadily.
You know, for certain things, though.
Air conditioner's about to turn on.
Oh.
Yeah, anyway, continue.
So for certain things, I don't, you know, for headshots, I would never try to take my own headshot.
Right.
For video, if I'm like doing something, honestly, I wouldn't take it on my phone. Just for the fact that, like, I don't know how to edit. I don't know how to do these things. I want to get the right angles. Well, you know, whatever. I rather leave that to the professional. And I like clothing, obviously. Like, I'm starting my own t-shirt brand. I hired a photographer.
Nice.
Like, I'm not gonna just take iPhone photos.
Who'd you hire?
I hired Ronald Wayne.
Nice. Okay. Shout out to Ronald Wayne.
Ronald, yeah. But I work with him often in e-com, editorial shoots. So our flow is very well together. He knows what I'm looking for. I know, like, it's just easy.
Yep.
You know? But I don't know. I mean, it is crazy to think that all the things I've done in life so far, just being 30, and because how I look.
Are you 30?
I am. I'll actually be 31 in 3 months, which just sounds insane.
Looking like you're 18 still.
Perfect.
What else?
So did you deal with the pretty factor?
Did I deal
The
with
handsome factor?
with your pretty factor or mine?
Oh, how did you deal with my pretty factor? I think that's actually a really good question because then we can talk about relationship stuff too.
Sure. Dating a female who is incredibly attractive can test your patience with other dudes constantly. But that's just like, it's a part of, if you want to date the pretty girl, you're going to have to deal with the dudes. And you have to, I feel like you have to, like, I would never want to not give you any opportunities. So I would allow anybody who wanted to come up and have a conversation with you to have a conversation with. I don't think I ever.
No, I was going to say, like, I think that was one thing that you were really like, I want you to make choices not dependent on me.
Yeah.
Like, if it's something you want to do it.
Yep.
Because like you're saying, like someone could come up to me and it could be a potential job or it could be an opportunity. Like, honestly, networking is king. Like, it really, really is. Like, at the end of the day, you should be talking to
as many people as you can.
Yeah. Like, everyone. Because you don't know down the road. If you know Jim that you met at the deli down the street one day and they need X, Y, and Z and they have your contact info, they think of you when whatever job comes, like, I mean, that's really what it is.
Yep.
So.
So I guess the question is, what did I do to deal with? So, like, I wasn't going through your phone.
No.
I wasn't watching I just knew that, like, I know dealing with a very fine female that's on Instagram where we were throwing up sexy photos. It doesn't even have to be that sexy. Just you in general is sexy. Are sexy. Is sexy. It's going to make dudes slide in, even if you were mostly female following. So, like, I think I just had enough confidence to know that I could handle it and not worry whether or not I had to find out if you were, like, also, like, you were always home.
Yeah.
You're an old woman.
I know.
And a hot woman's body.
I feel like no one really expects that from me, but I'm like, I don't want to go anywhere.
Yeah, you're like home at 6 cooking.
Yeah, I'm pretty much a homebody.
Yeah.
For sure. Because I think I get this question a lot. You know, everybody wants to date the model.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you're dating the model, you're like, ugh. But I think for like you and I, it worked because we're in the same industry. Can you understand where, like, I guess the normal guy finds like it hard? Or
Yeah, I was talking actually with a model earlier today about her boyfriend was a director, but he couldn't handle the fact that all of the artists, so he's a music video director, he couldn't handle that all of the artists were trying to hit on her because she was like a main girl. She kept getting hired, and then like he felt like every time he turned his back, somebody was trying to like hit on his girl, and he just
couldn't handle it.
He couldn't handle it, and he went back to his ex-girlfriend, and she's pissed. But I was like, well, how did your relationship start? She was like, well, I was on set, and I was like, was he single or was he still in a relationship? And she was like, well, he said it was over and it wasn't really. I was like, there was your first red flag. I was like, you can't hang out with somebody who still got a relationship, or even pretty much fresh out of it. Not to say that it can't happen, just, you know.
But they're going to be thinking about, well, if I did this or she did this, well, you know what I mean? Like there's always that like in between.
Yep.
I think it's hard dating not in the industry because people don't really understand. Yeah. Like I think when I first started,
I'm looking for a makeup artist.
Haven't you dated that? Oh no, hairstylist. Sorry.
She was a hairstylist and a makeup artist, but now she's a makeup artist and a hairstylist. I just talked to her yesterday for the first time in a long time.
Oh God.
Yeah. She hit me up because Bubba had passed away. Yeah. Shout out to Bubba. We miss you, man.
Seriously. I just was gonna post. Somebody asked me like for happy moments in my life, and there was a video of when we first got Mimi. Mimi is our teacup Yorkie. That is, she's about to be 4. I know. So there was a picture when we first brought her home, and she was just, remember how she was like all black and just a little puff ball, and Bubba's sitting there like a statue. He probably thought he was getting a treat, and his tail's going back and forth, and Mimi is just attacking his tail, but he doesn't care.
You guys sent me this video.
Yeah. I was like, oh my God. Like, we have a lot of photos of them together.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go through that. I want to do a like a collage in homage to him.
Cute.
Put it all together.
Yeah.
Off topic. Back to
okay.
Monet. Oh, wait. No.
Wait, no, I think we should keep going on the relationship. I think because a lot of people are usually like curious about that.
Okay.
So flip side, I know at one point, like, yes, we were shooting sexy content. And so now I'm dating a photographer. It was hard. Like I unfollowed your sexy page at one point.
Got it.
Like
there was too much ass.
It was just, it's not that I thought that anything like you were doing at all, but it was just like, I guess women's own insecurities. So I'm like, oh my God, all these big booty hoes are at the house all the time. They're this or that, which you were like, you would literally call me like, this is my hot girlfriend. This is Amber. I'm like, hi. Like, I don't want to talk to these hoes, but thank you.
Poor girls.
But it was just like, I don't know, I guess a comparison thing or just insecurities. And I was like, okay, love you, want to support you, but I'm just not going to follow that page anymore.
Yeah.
I think for a while, I didn't follow it.
Yeah. No, I don't expect most females to follow that page. That is a 4 dudes page.
Got it. 4 dudes by dudes.
4 dudes by 1 dude.
Maybe multiple dudes.
Yeah. Nobody needs to know. Nobody needs to know who's really running my accounts or shooting for me.
But no, I think it's, on both sides. I think being in the industry makes it easier, but then there's people on the outside that are like, I remember my first, ex, I went on a model. That was like when I first started modeling. I came back with a Louis Vuitton bag one trip. well, what'd you do for that bag? I'm like, nothing. The guy bought everybody at the modeling trip a bag. But normal people would be like, that doesn't happen.
This heavyweight?
No.
Oh. This is some other time.
There's been many of times. I've gotten a lot of free things.
Yeah. I always thought that was interesting. But,
you know, if I add up all the money that I've been randomly sent or just given for nothing, it's a lot of money.
Yeah, that's one of the perks of being female is that I mean, like, in order to like try to impress you, men will do or give away things like it's nothing because for them it is. I mean, for some people,
it is. Yeah.
And that's why I was like, I'm never going to be able to compete with that at this age.
No, but I don't think, for me, that doesn't impress me. Like, it's funny because actually
Okay, Shania.
No, but even my friend Shane at Saks, he's like, you know what? I will say you've never wanted any of your boyfriends to buy you expensive things, like on the regular. Like you're not expecting a da-da-da-da gift at all times. I'm like, yeah, because I'm pretty like, yes, I like nice things.
You like flowers.
Yeah, there's certain things like, you know what I mean? I'd rather other things throughout the year than like, I don't need you to like, I don't need a new bag once a month. There's girls that are like that, you know? And I think when you flash your money, it makes me super uninterested. Yeah. I'm like, oh, that's what you think is going to buy me? Like, that's what you think, like, that's all you got type of thing? So, I don't know. So you didn't have to compete with those people?
No, I was never. No. But we always are. I know I didn't, but we always are. It's just like you thinking about big booty hoes. Same thing. Same insecurity. For dudes, it's money. For like dudes, it's most likely who can take care of, right? Because girls want to have fun, and if you can't maintain them, they will look for fun elsewhere. In my opinion, that wasn't something I had a problem with. I didn't have any difficulty entertaining you, but that's what we're thinking about in our head. Yeah. Or I can only bring you out to a restaurant or get you flowers once this week or once this month, and some other dude is like, oh, I could get you a bag and take you out and do this and do this, and I'm like, fuck.
Like, how do I
compete? Well,
or keep up.
It's like just trying to keep up with the Joneses, and like, yeah, these dudes, I mean, you weren't giving them any time, so it like didn't matter anyway, but it's still, that's what dudes are thinking when they're dating girls who are hot, and then every other dude with a blue check mark is sliding into their DMs like, holy fuck, and they're just sending dick pics, and fuck, not to you maybe, but that's what's going on to this chick.
Oh, I don't get dick. Well, you know, on Snapchat it was just but I don't think they were blue check people. But no dick pics on Instagram. No. But a lot of blue checks.
Lots of blue checks.
A lot of blue checks.
So anyway, back to relationship talk. What's your next question? We both went down a little rabbit hole. What are people asking as far as dating models to you these days? Or dating industry. You were talking relationship, like,
yeah, we were talking relationships, kind of
wanting like, to date a model.
At the end of the day, a woman is a woman, and we all have insecurities, like no matter who you are. Yep. Like I always say that to girls. You could be, look, Beyonce got cheated on. Like, it doesn't matter, no matter what you're doing, what, you know, pay rack, like, it doesn't matter who you are. Yep. We're going to have our own insecurities at the end of the day, and obviously men as well.
50% of marriages end up in divorce.
Meh.
Next topic.
I'm trying to think if anybody asked me anything else about dating. Usually it's like, how do you date a model? I'm like, hello, we're normal people. Thank you.
Say hi first. Yeah. See if she says hello back. That doesn't work. Try something different, bro.
And I think people should be like creative. Yep. Okay, look, followers does not matter. Like, I don't think it matters. You know, we're all normal people. I get it. Some people get their head blown up a little bit with followers. But for me, I mean, I know I'm probably a little different because I am super low key at times. I rather keep it simple for the most part. You know, I know my ex was like a big planner. So I remember the first time I went to visit him, it was like, okay, we have reservations at this restaurant tonight. We have reservations here. We're doing this. We're going to do this. And I'm like, it's nice. And it was very nice to have like something planned. But then at the end of the day, like, just take me to a diner. Like, I want to be like normal. You know what I mean? So I think when it comes to dating, like, don't overthink things all the time. You know, just do something nice and simple and sweet.
Heard.
You know?
I did good. Okay, so then from modeling, then I'm going to ask questions about what you're currently doing, I guess how you're making your monies right now, especially with COVID going on. And yeah, what are you doing right now as far as money is concerned and COVID?
Okay, so COVID hit March.
Excuse me, sorry.
Delish. So COVID hit March. I was like, oh, so this means that I can't go into the studio. I'm not shooting. Well, I had started a network marketing company the end of September 2019, but I didn't do anything with it. I was like, I don't really know. I don't know what to do. I don't really even know what network marketing is. I don't know. And I didn't also want to be known as the girl that sells shampoo. Like, for real. I didn't want to be judged by other influencers. Like, and I also didn't think I could sell product. I didn't think I was a salesperson. Like, I don't know how to sell. So I made all these excuses. Then pretty much COVID happened and I was like, oh crap. What am I supposed to do now? So I had this business that wasn't really doing much and I kind of just poured myself into this business and I started to really see a change in making money. I was like, okay, I can help people and it's also benefiting me as well. So I guess I kind of just changed my outlook a little bit with, Monet. And I realized that it's not just about me making money. Mm-hmm. Yes, we all like a paycheck. Mm-hmm. But it's also about how many people I can like help change their lives.
Ooh.
So that was kind of the switch for me. And that was also the switch for my like social media as well. Like, what value am I giving on my social media? What am I like? I'm just posting pretty pictures. What is that going to do for me? There's going to be a point where that doesn't work, where I'm not growing anymore from it. Because I feel like it was just that. And it was definitely sexier before too, and I just didn't want to be viewed as that. So in March into April, I started changing. I went through, archived a bunch of photos, deleted things, changed my bio. I like revamped my social media because I was mainly branding toward women.
Or now you are. Now you're trying to brand mainly towards women.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
All right.
So the branding kind of started and I'm like, all right, well, what do women want to see? So I started posting.
What do they want to see?
What do they want to see? So I started posting, obviously, a lot of fashion stuff. So outfits. Look, as a girl, I'm always like, oh, I like that pose. Oh, I like that outfit. I like those shoes. So things like that. And that's when I got the Fashion Nova partnership and Missy Empire. And then I was with a swimwear company at that time as well. So I'm like, all right, I'm pushing out content, but I still wasn't giving value. Like, I was training my team in network marketing, this and that, but I wasn't 100% in it still. I didn't believe it. I didn't see the vision. I'm trying to think when that first clicked. My friend had came to me and was like, look, my friend's making X, Y, and Z a month. Over 50,000. I go, I'm like, hold the phone. She's not doing anything different than me, posting on my story, on my page. What is she doing? If she could do it, I could do it. And my current situation it wasn't going to make me $50,000 a month or more. Just wasn't going to happen. I don't see modeling making that unless you honestly are, shooting with huge brands and you're with an agency. I'm not with an agency. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to put my time into Monet. So at the moment, I have a lot of women because I'm relatable to them, but it's, you know, network marketing is an unbiased thing. So I just want to help people in general. And I've done a lot of like self-development and things like that. And I think that's really the deciding factor of like, if you're going to be successful. Are you going to give knowledge freely? Are you going to want to help people in whatever way you're choosing? And I do. Like, that's like, I've always liked taking care of people, helping people. Like, that makes me happy. So I knew I was in the right spot, because being in network marketing for a few months, I could see the growth in like the girls on my team.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not just growth in like financially, because some of them weren't making money in the beginning, but they weren't there for the money. They were there for the community, or they were there for the self-development, whatever it may be, right? But I would see these women that had no followers, or were scared to show their face on camera, or would never take a photo. I would see their confidence build. And like, I felt like the mother of the pack. Like, oh my gosh, you know, Susie got on camera. She was nervous, but she's coming out of her comfort zone. Remember, coming out of your comfort zone, nothing grows there. So you have to be uncomfortable in life to grow. So that's kind of been my path now with my social media. I want to give value. I want to give empowerment. Yes, it's a lot of women empowerment, but it's also to people in general. Like, I know I posted something about like affirmations the other day, or I posted my story of like who I am, where I came from, like my struggles in life. I got so many messages, even from guys, and it wasn't like on a creepy, like, hey, I saw your whole story. I related to this part of your story of you being homeless at one point of your life. Like, you give me hope that like it can get better.
You want to tell that story?
My story.
Yeah.
Sure. I'm trying to cut it down so it's not long, because I did it in like little parts on Instagram.
You can take as much time as you want. That's the beauty of this particular style of podcast.
So I guess my story starts with being in New Jersey. I grew up in New Jersey, and I come from a single family household. My mom was a single mom from the time I think I was like 4. And I have 2 siblings. They both have seizures. So growing up, like, I would see my mom struggle, but my mom was also an alcoholic. So it was like an up and down battle. Like, is my mom around taking care of us, or is she not? Like, we had gotten taken away from her at one point in my life. So we were in foster care for a little while. And then our grandparents took us. And then my mom came back, but we always moved. Like, I don't know how many times I've moved in my life. So I was very used to being like transiting. Like, it was just normal for us to move all the time. So for me to like settle down, my current location probably has been one of the few places I've been at the longest. So it was weird to put like pictures up on the wall and like things like that. So going through having, you know, a parent that was an alcoholic, there was times where we would get kicked out of places because she didn't pay rent, or something happened, or she lost her job, or whatever it may be. So there was a time where I lived with my best friend, and my mom and siblings lived in a hotel. So it was rough seeing that, but it also motivated me to know that's not the life I wanted to live either.
Right.
Like, I want more. I don't want that ever to be my life, because I lived it. You know what I mean? And I didn't have a choice, and I couldn't do anything because I was a kid. But it also made me grow up faster. I did drop out of high school my junior year. It was just better for me to work. You know, I always worked anyway. I had my first job probably when I was like 13. I was like sweeping floors at a salon, but it was great. I got like a $40 check every week, and I got to go to the mall and buy clothes that I wanted, because my mom wasn't able to buy them. We would get like, in the beginning of the year, you would get clothes, 1 pair of shoes, and that's going to basically last you till Christmas, and you'll get another pair. You know what I mean? I didn't want that, obviously. Like, you're a teenager. You want to, you know, my friends had things. I remember I wanted Adidas, and my mom tried to get me like the knockoff ones. Like, Mom, they have too many stripes. I cannot go to school like this.
These are K-Swisses.
But you know what I mean? Like, to fit in at school, obviously. So I was working then. Then I met my best friend, Ashley. I started working at her pizzeria. And it was like when I met her, we were just like soul sisters. And I was with her 24/7. Thank God I met her and her family, because they definitely took me in as like another child. At one point I had my own room at her house.
Nice.
Like, yeah, it was good, but I was just a bad kid. I remember like her grandma coming to knock on my door. Amber, are you going to school today? I'm like, no. Ashley's on the bus on her way to school. I missed like 75 days of school my freshman year.
Just because you could.
Just because I didn't want to go to school. We had moved so many times. So like the school that I had went to and the town I lived in for years, we moved. So I left my old best friend, my old friends, and started high school. No friends. I think I remember somebody saying like, yeah, I remember you in your freshman year. Like you wore like sweatpants and like hoodies the whole year. I'm like, yeah, I didn't want to talk to anybody.
It's still your life. So after high school, what happened?
Still my life. So I moved away for a little while. I went to California and then I came back to New Jersey. And at that point, I kind of like begged my mom, look, you need to get out of your element. You're doing the same thing over and over again. Please move to Florida. My brother's grandparents live in Florida, in North Florida. So she's like, okay. So I move her down. I stay in New Jersey. I got my first apartment. I think I was like 18. She was doing better. She ended up, that's where she decided that she did not want to drink anymore. And she started going to AA. Great. Has been sober for, I think, 11 years.
Nice.
So it's awesome. It's like a different person. And then I've probably done every job in the book. I've sold Cutco knives. I worked at a salon. I started nursing school. I got out of that because I was like, this is not what I want to do. Then I have my cosmetology license. I worked in a salon for 2 years. 2 years, and realized like I didn't want to do that as well. You don't get to be as creative as you want to be. And I am a creative person, so it was just drama too. The girls were not nice, and I don't like confrontation. So I left that. I went back to what I've always known was bartending. I bartended for 7 years at TGI Fridays, and then I switched over and I was working at Twin Peaks. And the money was great, but the energy was horrible. The people were horrible.
People being people that you worked with, or people that were customers?
I guess it's a little bit of both.
Okay.
You know, the girls are very catty, and I was always like, I was older, so they were very young, and I'm a little older, and I'm just like, I'm here to make money, go home. I'm not trying to make best friends, but you know, gossip. It felt like you were in high school again.
Yeah.
And then you have the guests. Most of the time they were nice, but you know, someone asked me this the other day, if I felt like degraded. I never felt degraded, but I also chose to work there.
Right.
You know, I knew what outfit I was wearing. I knew like what I was dealing with, type of thing, you know? I would just try to take advantage of people that wanted, like, that were being extra or were being like a little disrespectful, I guess. I know I'll talk about this because it was funny. I remember I was working a day shift, and during football season, we would make our own shirts. So you cut it up, make it whatever. The guy was like, oh, I like her shirt. I'm like, oh, thanks. Like, she made it. And he's like, oh, really? How much? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, how much for her shirt? I was like, oh, everything has a price. I'm like, you're right. Everything does have a price. And he's like, so what's the price for your underwear? I go, my underwear? And then I was like, is this real? So I threw up some, like, for me, a crazy number. I think I was like 200. I don't even remember honestly what it had to be, at least 200.
It was 200.
Okay. So I'm like, 200. He's like, okay, and slaps the money down on the bar. I'm like, fuck, is this happening? And then I think, am I wearing underwear that I like that I don't want to get rid of? I'm like, oh no, these are like old underwear. It's fine. So I literally go in the bathroom, put my underwear in a little bag, in like a to-go bag. I give it to the guy, 5 seconds, and he leaves. I was like, wow, that was the best $200 I ever made. That was easy. I didn't ever have anything like that at Fridays. Like, no. You know, people.
That's like a Hooters.
Exactly. So I feel like guys kind of.
Yeah, they're there to flirt with the
staff as well. But you know what's really funny? Most of the girls were in relationships.
Oh yeah, most all of them are in relationships.
Yeah, you know, these guys would come in, leave numbers. I'm like 95% of us are in relationships.
Yep.
So
yeah,
but that was a fun story. And then the energy was just really bad there. I would dread going to work. So that was when I decided, okay, I'm going all in modeling.
Got it.
But I felt like that stage of my life, I may have been posting like I was having the time of my life. I may have been traveling to all these cool places, but inside I was not happy.
Copy.
Like I didn't know what I wanted to do for the rest of my life or in the next 5 years. I don't know. I was just unhappy. And I was definitely choosing outlets that weren't the best for me. And I wasn't making the right choices in the time to try to make myself happy. At that point, I thought materialistic things were going to make me happy, and that wasn't either. So I think, you know, quitting that place and getting rid of that place was great. And then just going into modeling was awesome, but it was also a very scary thing because it was up and down.
Mm-hmm. And you were trying to find yourself at the same time.
Yeah. And I didn't know how to do that. Like, I didn't have anybody really around me to like, I don't know, to give me that direction. Like, oh, go read a book, or like, I don't know, just that direction in general.
I told you to go read books.
Oh gosh. So I did quit and I was modeling, and then I hit where nobody was booking me.
Yeah.
So there was a time where I was like, oh fuck, like, what am I supposed to do now? Now the one main company that I had no contract with, they stopped booking me. So then I started going to work with my friend Boo Daddy, and I was his assistant. He's a jeweler. So then I was doing that as well. But then it's like, as soon as you quit, and I was in that for a little while, jobs started coming back. I was like, all right, like, I'm making more money modeling. I have to quit this because this is not my long term. I'm not an assistant. You know what I mean? But I think I had to be 26.
Okay.
The first time I quit my regular job. I think that was 26. What else?
All right. So basically you're giving me your life journey. So you quit, you become a model, modeling is happening. We kind of went over that earlier. So now you're doing Monet. I'm not sure if that's the right way to say it. Now you are representing Monet.
Yes.
As a sales
independent contractor,
yep. But a sales associate essentially. How does it?
Yeah.
I guess I'm super interested. One, it's been talked about like it's a pyramid scheme,
which is illegal.
Which is illegal. I think it's just a corporation, and all corporations.
I was
are
just gonna say, honestly,
pyramids.
Big corporations are pyramid schemes because only person.
They're not pyramid schemes. They're just pyramids.
Well, pyramids, yeah. They're pyramids because the person at the top is making the money. And in corporate America, you're capped at what you can make for the most part. So I think that's the pyramid, honestly.
Okay.
Do you want me to break down on Monet, kind of like how it works?
Yes.
Okay. So there's 2 ways to make money in the company. Mm-hmm. One of them is by selling product.
Talking to the mic.
One of them is by just selling product. Mm-hmm. Super easy. We have skincare, we have hair care. We just added wellness products. So mainly by making sales, you would make, depending, from 30% to 15% commission.
Okay.
And honestly, I've done like some research in other network marketing companies, and our percentages are very, very well for 30%.
Are very awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Second way is building a team.
Okay.
And that's where your kind of like residual income comes in.
Okay.
But what makes us not a pyramid scheme is if I stop working tomorrow, I cannot reap any benefits from my team working.
Oh, that's interesting.
So I need to continually work. So basically at the beginning of every month on the 1st, mm-hmm. we all reset to 0.
Copy.
So I can't get bonuses for my girls working really hard.
And you not working hard.
If I'm not working. And if my girls surpass me, I don't get anything from them anymore.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
That's interesting.
So it's motivation, one, to always keep working. And if you are like building a team, that you're ahead of everyone.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Do you have a new car?
I have a new car. Okay, so that's super exciting. When I first started Monet, I had seen all these people get white Cadillacs. I said, I want to get the white Cadillac. I want to get the white Cadillac. And it kind of felt like an unrealistic goal at one point. I talked about it, but I didn't think it was going to happen. And I got the white Cadillac in 8 months of working the business.
Nice.
Yeah. So I have a car that's paid for by my job as long as I keep working.
Nice.
Yeah. And I won a free trip.
Nice.
For myself and a +1. And Christopher is my +1.
Yay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I'll be headed with you to
Dominican Republic. It's my first trip with the company, so I'm excited.
Where I'll be
talking to people.
Dominating headshots, hopefully.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
And I chose Christopher to come because, one, I have social anxiety. So it makes me super nervous that I would be going by myself. I probably would not go. And I'm like, all right, who will go and like make me comfortable? I'm like, okay, Christopher talks to everyone.
Yes, I will.
And will be the life of the party.
Yes, I will.
And not leave me behind either. So I was like, I just want to go with someone that I'm going to have fun with and it's going to be easy. And we've traveled together, so I know
that I'm easy to travel with.
Yes, it's very important.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Something I love figuring out in new relationships. Let's go camping and figure out.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, you don't camp, but.
No. You didn't even try to take me camping.
I did not try to take you camping at all.
I know this bitch does not camp.
You glamp, maybe.
I would glam.
Yeah, maybe. Until you got bit by some mosquitoes and you'd be like, we got to leave.
Yeah.
I need a Hilton.
Or something higher.
Or something higher. Oh my God. All right. So you're with Monet now. You've gotten the car. What's your next goal? And I guess from there, what type of value? That's what I wanted to know. What is the value that you were providing people on social media now? What is the value?
Okay, so the next step with Monet is getting to the top of the compensation plan. I'm in the middle right now. So it's just building my team and basically duplicating myself onto my leaders.
Okay.
And it's just like, that duplication effect is pretty much how you make the business work. But it's hard because people sign up and
then they quit.
They don't want to work.
Yeah.
And honestly, like that's something you just have to understand. For every 10 people you sign up, maybe one's going to work.
Yep.
And if you sign someone up, it may not be I always say there's 2 start dates. The day you sign up and the day that you start to see the vision and you're like, okay, I can do this. I want to do it. I'm dedicated. I'm going to, hustle. For me, I started in September of last year and my start date was the end of January.
How long is that?
It was like 5 months in between.
So it took about 5 months for you to be able to notice results.
No, it took me 5 months to just post.
Oh.
For me to think that I could actually do it, like build up my own confidence and not like care what other people thought.
How long until you got your first good size check?
My first good size check was probably 2 months in.
That's not that bad. That's
not that bad.
Quick.
Look, you can make money, but you have like any job.
Yeah, you got to work.
You have to work, but more when you're an entrepreneur because it's easy to sit at home and not do anything.
Oh yeah, until
you realize, oh, I don't get a paycheck on Friday unless I work.
I got to make this work.
Like I actually have to, people think, oh, when you work for yourself, so easy. I think it takes more discipline. And then when you're saying on what value I'm giving or what I want to give. Now on social media or just in general?
Well, you were talking about on social media, you've decided now it's also like the Gary Vee thing, but like how the reason people are following should be because you're giving them value, aside from just giving them something to look at to maybe fap to later.
Yeah. No, in like 2020 and even into, I saw a big change in 2020 because we were all on lockdown. We were all in quarantine. People were not following pages and being active unless you were giving them some kind of value, knowledge, something, right? Mm-hmm. We were all stuck at home doing nothing. You better be teaching me how to work out. You better be teaching me how to make money. Teach me something. Yep. They weren't liking the pages just because.
Yep.
Because we had more time on our hands. We had time to really sit and think about what we wanted from someone we were following, I guess, you know? Mm-hmm. So new direction now is I just did a seminar called GoPro. It's for network marketers. I did it with Eric War, awesome network marketing guru. So I did that 2 weekends ago for the whole weekend. And he says, if you want social media to work for you, mm-hmm. you need to give value. Yep. No more of this, like just a pretty photo, like captions should be meaningful. So I know one of mine was about like affirmations or what do I do on a daily basis to make be productive, whatever it may be. Right.
I don't know. What is it? I'm looking for, give me some examples of value.
Also Reels right now too.
Okay.
Reels are obviously new on social media and they're helping people grow. One of my girls, her reel just hit like 1.3 million.
Boom.
Something so easy but funny, showing personality. She had 3,000 followers. Now she's almost up to 8,000. Yeah.
Boom.
But that's what like Gary Vee says, you never know what content's going to go viral. Yep. Just create content.
Yep.
Don't overthink it. She thought she was going to take it down. She goes, I literally looked at it and I second guessed myself and I want to take it down. I'm like, girl, the Shade Room put her on Shade Room.
Boom.
I was like, oh, you an influencer now. And she's like, oh, some of these comments are not nice. I'm like, influencer life. Just don't
read them.
Don't read them.
Yep.
Like go past them, delete them so you don't look at them. Like it's going to happen.
Don't even delete them. Just fucking let them sit there and.
I delete them from mine.
Yeah.
I just don't want negative energy on my stuff. And then it's sitting allows more people to, go back and forth.
Yeah, so you just keep the positive energy there.
Yeah, I don't want to go back and forth.
Do you find that working from Monet is more stimulating than modeling?
Yes, 1,000%.
Tell me how.
Because I feel like I have a purpose now. Like, I'm here to help people.
But you were really good at being my muse.
Thanks. I still, there was a point even in my modeling, and I know I would be at the studio and I love being behind the scenes.
Right.
If I could help pose, if I could, little things I could tweak because I've been in front of the camera so much, I liked being behind it as well. Mm-hmm. I got to a point where people there was just one job that kind of, I think, pushed me over the edge and was like, yes, retiring for the most part is pretty much what I want to do. This girl was telling me how to pose. You hired me. I know what I'm doing. And it was just the energy every time I went to that job.
Was it the photographer or somebody else?
No, it wasn't the photographer. It was the
girl who should shut the fuck up in the back, you
basically.
Peanut gallery.
Girl, I know you want to be a model because we see it on your Instagram, but sweetie, you're not. So let me just do my job. I just feel like if you hire someone for their skills, you should trust that they know what they're doing. And I understand different brands want something different.
Yep.
But that's what I do when I get a new job for a new brand. I kind of do my own research. I mean, that's something I've always done. What are they posting?
Yep.
How are the girls posing? Okay, I see this, this, and this. Got it. Hot Miami Styles, mm-hmm. The owner doesn't like when you pose with your legs open, standing. She wants legs closed.
Yeah.
Other brands
creates
this
an
other brand
system.
Yeah. But other brands wanted different.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So I think getting a job, you should always do research.
Yep.
No matter what it is.
Yeah. Every time I get a new client, I Google them first. It's the first thing they do. And then after that, I find out who they are, what they're using their image for, where it's going. And then I try and reverse engineer the photo. So it would be the same thing if I was getting a job for modeling. I'd be like, all right, what's going on here? What are they doing? What do they like? How do I break it down? And then how do I deliver upon whatever they're currently doing, unless they're looking for something creative like
different.
Me, who's not creative-ish. I'm creative-ish. I prefer to have like a team, or like a team of creatives.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah.
It does. Yeah. Out of all my other jobs, why am I kind of like sticking with this, and why is this one stimulating me more, or whatever? I think I've just become dedicated to my why. Like, why do I want success, or why am I doing this? You know, yes, it was my family in the beginning, and then I think it changed to now. Also, I have a team of people. I have 200 plus people underneath me. You know, I tell my girls, I can't just quit, because that means I'm quitting on you guys. And that's not okay with me. You know, they look at me as a mentor. So I don't think I ever had someone or a team. Yeah, I didn't have that ever. You know, and I love it.
How long did it take you to grow that?
Well, I've been growing my team since it's almost a year. So January 30th will be a year.
Damn. So 200 people underneath you to be able to get
200 plus. And like I said before, it's not just money.
Yeah. No, I want
growth.
that. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I am trying to help. The more people you can help,
if I can help,
the more
like,
money you can make.
You know,
solving problems is money.
You know, me figuring out what your problem is, and like I had a 3-way call with a potential the other day. Super sweet girl. She has 2 kids. Her husband is working. She's not. They had to move back into her family's house because it's rough. And, you know, she wants to join the business, and she was very honest with us. She goes, I'm going to be honest with you. I have $24 in my bank account. I'm like, that's exactly why you need us. That's exactly why you're here at this very moment. Everything happens for a reason. That's why you're on this call with me. We're going to make a plan. Don't feel like I'm going to tell you like, well, you have to figure it out, or you know what? We shouldn't even be on this call since you don't have money. I was like, okay, what in your house could you possibly sell on Facebook Marketplace? There's probably things that you could get rid of. We don't have it's not an investment in Monet. You just buy the products that you're going to use to start your business. Oh, are you okay over there,
Got
sir?
a cramp.
Oh, God.
Oh, I got a cramp.
So I still do some modeling. Now it's more at my own will and like want. So I still work with the brand Hot Miami Styles. It's not every week. I actually, upon retiring, I guess, I just moved to New Jersey. I'm growing a team in New York. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was crucial for me to be around my team. The beauty of this business, we are in 5 different countries at the moment. So it's great because I could technically go to any country, kind of make it my base and build a huge team. So, I mean, it was kind of my goal, like, okay, I'll go here for a year. I'm going to build a team in New York. I want to be hands-on with them. I built my Florida team decently that they don't need me physically here. Mm-hmm. Yes, they all want it because I think community is a lot to do.
You just have to travel down here often.
But yeah, I'm here once a month. So, and I know I have a girl that just moved to LA. People feel like in South Florida that it's saturated, which I don't think is true. You just tend to see Monet a lot because this is where our headquarters is in Doral. So, you know, there's people in Wisconsin or Ohio that have never heard of us. So it's nice when you're in somewhere where no one's ever heard of you.
Yeah, of course.
You're the big fish. You're like,
you know what I mean? Big fish in a little pond.
Yeah. So, but that's why I kind of went to New Jersey. And now when I come back, I can model if I want. But I'm not doing it and I'm not relying on it.
Yeah.
I'm relying on Monet. I will say the one thing when I am away from modeling that I miss the most, I experienced this in quarantine because I never really thought about it and never kind of crossed my mind because I've always been working. I'm a workaholic. I got to a point because I'm used to getting my makeup done once a week at least, minimum. And then I went 2 months. And there was one point where I'm like, oh my God, I feel so ugly. Like I just felt like a little boy being at the house all the time because I wasn't getting dressed. I didn't, if you give me the option, I'll be in workout clothes or sweatpants and hoodies all the time. So I just got to a point where sometimes I miss the glam, but that's it.
Yeah.
I don't miss the 10-hour days. I don't miss getting up at 3:45 in the morning. I don't miss getting like shooting outside, either being like dead hot in summer, sweating. Windy. I hate the wind. Or being cold. Like, I don't miss those things, but
the best shoots are done in the cold on the beach during the winter. It's less people are on the beaches. So like one of the things that happens that people, I guess, don't really realize is that fall and winter clothing is shot during the summertime, and summer clothing is shot during the winter time. And so we end up wearing, or the models.
Not you.
Yeah, I'm in a fur coat. You're in a bikini.
I'm in a bikini. Keep going.
You're doing great. Just let the water hit you.
Like, but look like you're happy. You're like, I'm amazing.
Smile.
Can you edit out goosebumps?
Yeah, definitely tightens up the skin more.
Yeah.
But
people don't, like, you don't think about those things, or you don't know.
Yeah, they just
like,
don't know.
You always shoot like a season before.
Yeah.
So.
I always try and tell people that like photography and modeling is, for the most part, most of the people that I know in the industry are broke.
Yeah.
Most are broke. Not and
if you're not, you have a sugar daddy.
That's definitely possible too. Yes.
And then there's like the 1%.
Yeah.
Like the 1% that actually make money.
Yeah, there's because they're getting consistent jobs, or they're
big brands,
or they've figured out a niche.
Is it niche?
I think it's niche.
Niche.
Not like Nietzsche, but niche.
Niche.
Yeah. A niche. Yeah. That works for them.
Yeah.
You know,
which I feel like you've found.
I found a very good niche for myself.
Yes.
Actually, Jason Pushlife put me on to my niche.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah. He bought me my first Peter Hurley video.
Oh my God.
Merry Christmas to me.
Wow, and it was life-changing.
It changed my life. Yeah. We're not going to go through my life story right now. But yeah, totally changed my life. Especially COVID was the big change. But what was cool is that because of COVID, I was able to appreciate how much Jason Pushlife changed my life, because I was not financially stable on my own prior to COVID. Well, no, prior to like maybe 2 years before COVID.
Yeah.
But
in the beginning, getting into modeling, I didn't really have expectations, I guess. I didn't have a plan. I wasn't really using social media at that time. Definitely not thinking of a brand, like by no means. And when I started was with workshops. So it was new photographers. I was new.
So when you first started in photography, the setup was, we need pretty girls for
a workshop.
And a workshop consists of some new models, some experienced models, all join up in a location with photographers that are presets, some new, some not new.
Mainly new.
Mostly new?
Yes.
Okay.
So one experienced photographer, new, mainly new.
Okay. And so the biggest difference, I'm going to say, between new and experienced photographers is direction. And I also know what I want already.
Yes.
And I'm not trying to figure it out. What are some of the advantages and disadvantages, and I'm assuming most of them are disadvantages, to working with new photographers?
So being a new model and having a new photographer is very hard, because now you have two people that are unsure of themselves, don't know what each other wants, and you're not even talking about the vision. So it's like two separate people. You're not combining anything, And it is very hard because, yes, the photographer is not telling you anything. Most, like the newer guys, they don't know how to express what they want.
That's because they have
no idea.
Yeah.
So then it's like two deer in headlights. Like, oh, I don't know what you want me to do. Okay, change positions. You're like, what do I want? Like, I don't know what to do. So it's very hard. And now if you have an experienced model, easier, especially if you're a new photographer. Right. They know how to move. They know their poses. They're going to give you a better photo from someone new, even though you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, new photographers should hire experienced models. Yes. Experienced models and unexperienced models should hire experienced photographers.
Yes. No, you have to invest in yourself. I mean, that was something that I did learn. You know, you got me a shoot with Joey Wright, and I learned so much from that one shoot, even though I was like nervous, and I knew Joey, but I was nervous because like, okay, he shoots, you know, agency models. I'm not an agency model. I don't know like how this is going to go, but I learned so much. And then I also hired Ryan Osamendi in LA. Awesome guy. Also, you know, expressed to me what he wanted me to do. Same thing with Joey. Like, you just don't get that from someone that's new.
One of the positives to working with a photographer that you've paid is you are less likely to get hit on by them as well, right?
Yes. You know, I think because I always hold myself very professional when I show up places, the way I always responded in my DMs to people, I never really dealt with people like crossing that line. Not often.
Okay.
I mean, I've had people, oh, do you want me to bring champagne or alcohol to the shoot? No, one, I don't drink at all, but I wouldn't drink while I'm working.
That's a bad move.
Because I'm working.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or, you know, sending out a contract. Like, please, you know, have a deposit for me. Blah, 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 blah.
What things would you tell girls to put into their contract? So like for you, I would assume it's like, what am I wearing? How many images am I getting? How long is it going to take for me to get those images?
If you're hiring a photographer, what we would put in the contract?
I guess any of the things when you're working with a photographer in general. Sometimes hiring, sometimes just collabing with.
Okay, well, I think it's a little different. Like, so if you hire me, I don't really expect any content back.
Okay.
Because you've hired me.
Right.
You're not obligated to give me anything.
Okay.
You paid for my services. Like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So, yeah, if I got something from you, wonderful. But I don't know. I don't expect it back type of thing. But yeah, you can put that in your contract. How many images am I having edited? How long is it going to take for me to get my images?
So then I guess the thing would be, how many hours am I working?
How many hours am I working?
Do you have a copy of your contract?
No.
Oh.
Not with me.
No.
My assistant does.
Your assistant has it? Does she have a list she can send you right now?
I don't know. It's 11:15 at night, but I don't know.
Okay. So,
you know, so now before I book a job, like in emails and going back and forth with my assistant, I need to know exactly what we're shooting. I love a mood board. It now puts me like, okay, now I'm doing my job. I need to know where you want to go with your brand, with this photographer. Like, I need to understand where you're going as well. Like, I can't just show up to a job and be like, okay, hi. That's not how it is. Remember, this is a job.
Do you require hair and makeup?
I require hair and makeup.
Okay.
Or at least makeup at this point.
Do you choose who your makeup artist is?
Yes. So in my contract, I have my top 3 makeup artists that I always work with. Okay. At this point, I'm really only using one, Nichelle. She's like my main makeup artist. I do not do any jobs without getting my makeup done.
Okay.
Hair is a little different. I'm kind of OCD about my hair, and I can do hair to a certain degree. So I rather do my own most of the time if it allows it. You know what I mean? But makeup is like, no.
Other people will do it better.
Oh yeah.
Specifically, Nichelle.
For, you know, photography wise, yes. Because remember, what I put on at home to go out in my regular day is not good for the studio. Copy. I think that's something that people have to really understand, that if you are making a brand, you have to put money into it. Like, that was me. I was not making a lot of money, but I was booking makeup artists. Mm-hmm. If I had a job, I was booking if they, in the beginning, when they didn't want to pay for the makeup artist and I was new, mm-hmm. I would take it out of my pocket.
Smart.
Because it made sense.
Yeah.
Now my photos are going to look better.
Yep.
Like, I'm shooting 90% of good photos. Someone's going to want to book me again.
Yep.
It just looks way better.
Yeah, you are a 90%er.
Thank you.
And it's a lesson learned, which you already know is you shouldn't be doing your own makeup.
Oh, yes. But like, okay, so like right now, I have like a bump on my lip from filler. Mm-hmm. I smooth it out in my photos on Instagram. Mm-hmm. I had well, not you, but I had someone in your office make sure, like I wrote in an email, can you just make sure that you edit my lip?
Yep.
I think you should be on good terms with, you know what I mean?
Oh, I'm happy to do it, or my team is happy to do it.
But you know what I mean? I think you should and look, I'm not the client. It was like collab stuff, but.
Which is why I should do it even more.
Exactly. You know, it shouldn't be, oh my God, I shot with this guy and he didn't do this for me. It's just like bad word of mouth. And like, if it's something that bothers me, why would you want to make someone feel bad about themselves? You know what I mean? Like, and now they're not going to share it on Instagram. They're not going to post it anywhere. They're not going to tell people to come shoot with you because you didn't make them feel good.
Right.
So that's a little hard. I mean, yes, once you pay me, I don't have control technically, like contract wise, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But you could put it in your contract too. Mm. There is like, I know a girl that will say like, my eyebrows need to be like it's crazy, but her eyebrows need to be perfect. Or there was a model from LA that we shot, and in her contract, it says that I need to have a mirror in front of me the whole shoot.
Good for her.
So you can put whatever you want in your contract. And I think people fail to understand that.
Yeah. I think most people are, well, one, they're not using contracts. No. Two, they're not taking any money, not doing any contracts, not on the same page at all. But
then it's like you're both kind of wasting your time.
Yeah, I feel like, yeah. I think a lot of people are using the opportunity to practice and just get things done.
Yeah.
And then they do it so much, and then they find themselves struggling, and then they're pissed off because things aren't working their way. And what they should have done or could have done is take an opportunity or a moment to think about it, put it down in a contract, and then make that contract standard. And, you know, like I have everybody sign model releases. It's because I want to use the images to be able to put on advertising for myself, one, or possibly sell. Now, I hit people up even for collaboration, and I say, hey, I want to work with you. And then they say, yeah, I would love to. And then I send them a contract, and I tell them exactly how long it takes for me to get them proofs. Then immediately after that, how long it's going to take for them to get an edit. And some of them freak out with the number of edits that I'm willing to give them. And when they do that, I say, well, what is it that you would like?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. And either A, they don't know, or they have a number that they want. And all right, cool. That's what if that's what it's going to take for me to be able to work with you, then yes or no, right?
It's just the communication.
Simple. But then you guys are on the same page. I know a lot of people get upset just because they got a contract or no way I'm signing that. All right, cool. Negotiate now. You're up. Next, what do you want?
I think it's because they don't understand the contract. It's like you're getting defensive over a contract, but you don't understand it to a certain degree, or you're just not doing them.
Or they're not reading it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's a contract.
Yeah. Oh. Because now it's binding. Whatever they're doing, whatever they're expecting. Like I had a girl that has like a little med spa. Mm-hmm. She's like, oh, I have influencers come in. You know, I do the service for free, but then they don't post. I'm like, well, are you sending them a contract? No. Okay, well, once they get the service, if there's nothing binding them to it, most of the time they're going to be like, yeah, screw you.
Yep.
Yeah, they come in with no makeup on. No, they look horrible. Well, do you put that in your contract?
Yep.
Like, you can put whatever you want.
Yeah. Negotiate the terms of the service before the service.
Yeah.
Super important.
And don't feel bad to do it. And honestly, if someone sends me a contract, I'm like, okay, this person's professional. I want to work with them. These are the type of people I like to work with. Like, when I get a call sheet, I'm excited.
Oh, I love call sheets.
I'm like, oh my God, I don't like being unorganized. So I'm like, oh my gosh, it tells me my makeup time, who's my makeup artist, what time we're taking a break, what time we're having lunch, what time we're doing this, who's my stylist. I'm like, oh, lovely.
Do you do that for your Monet business? Do you create like little call sheets, or like, is that in your?
I have a monthly calendar that I put out.
Mm-hmm.
So I have trainings on Sundays and Wednesdays. Then I give out trainings to certain like leaders. I have potential calls from like myself that I do personally 3 times a week. So I have like a calendar.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any questions?
For you?
I don't know. It could be for anybody in the room, but yeah, probably me on the other end.
So what was one thing in building your social media that you recommend to other people? Like, what's one thing that was so important?
Focusing on one thing and honing in on it and believing in it, even when you don't think it's going to work.
On the journey, like not giving up.
Yeah, just completely, like, for me, it was like, I'm going to be the best headshot photographer in the world. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to post a headshot every single day. I'm going to do a headshot every single day. Even if I have to pay somebody to get in front of my camera.
Consistency.
I'm going to do it. And I'm going to make it consistent. And I'm just going to drive it in. And then I'm going to learn from that experience. And I'm going to get it better and turn the quality around faster and make it smarter, tighter, faster, quicker, stronger. So, yeah, I would probably just say consistency.
Yeah. No, I think that's like a question that people are like, how do you grow? How do you grow on Instagram?
Slowly.
I'm like,
one day at a time.
Consistency.
One person at a time.
And we fixate on the followers that we want and the ones that we want a certain number. Oh, I want to hit 1 million. I want this. But then you kind of forget to give value to the people that are already following you already.
Yeah. Quality over quantity.
Yeah.
And it's way more important for you to have
stimulate the people that you have.
Well, it's not only stimulate the people that you have, but develop whatever it is you're trying to sell to the audience that is actually paying attention.
Yeah.
Right? So like for me, I run a service. That service pretty much has a 30 to 50 mile radius. So having more followers from Russia, Bangladesh, India, let's just keep it local, Pennsylvania, Iowa, Chicago, it's not that important for me initially, right? Because they're not the people that are going to be paying my bills most likely. It will most likely be people within a 10, let's say, actually, let's break it down. 5 to 20 mile radius is the, yeah, absolutely. Because I'm not an online business.
Yeah.
I have to physically be there. That's why I'm super jealous about what it is that you have going on and why I might become a Monet sales representative.
Men of Monet.
Yeah, I could be a Men of Monet.
The men are killing it.
My forehead is killing it too, so I'm going to have to get on it. What's the product?
What do you mean?
For my head to keep my hair.
Oh, the intense repair.
Yeah, I'm going to need some intense repair on this forehead.
No, I mean, it is really good product, but it's super important, I think, right now, especially with COVID. We all realize, like, our jobs are not secure.
Nope.
At all. So to do something online based is very important, no matter what you do. Like I've seen people doing drop shipping, more network marketing stuff. Like I like Monet because I'm not asking you to change your life. Like Herbalife.
Mm-hmm.
Anything fitness, I'm asking you to change your routine, change your life,
Yeah.
That's different.
Yeah. This is a product I'm already planning on using.
Yes, we all wash our hair. We all should be taking care of our skin.
Do you have shampoo? It's shampoo products too?
Yeah, we have all hair care, styling products, shampoo. Yeah.
And the base of it is all vegan.
Everything's vegan.
What is vegan?
Plant-based.
Copy.
And I think that's trending.
Veganism?
Yeah. I think it's getting more and more popular. People are being conscious of what they're putting in their body, eating wise, and then what they're putting on their skin.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was very smart for the company to start a vegan brand. I'm hoping that we open up in Australia. I have a lot of people always asking me, and Australia is like a place that they're really, really health conscious. They have so many vegan skincare brands. I'm like, wow, we're just like missing out here in the US. But I think it's still something new in skincare.
Very true.
Yes.
It's been wonderful to have you here.
Mm.
I'm not kicking you off, but I think I'm going to stop this.
Okay.
Unless you want to keep it going. Was it fun?
Of course.
You, of course, me.
Of course.
All right.
It was bunches of fun in the sun.
Amber Quinn, where can people find you?
On Instagram at Amber Quinn Official. TikTok also.
Both things are Amber Quinn Official?
Of course. Got to keep the brand.
Smart girl. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's been a pleasure. Enjoy the rest of your evening or day. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and tickle
Leave a
your
comment.
taint. Oh, leave a comment. Don't tickle your taint. Bye.